Well, how'd you think you did that game?
I did alright early. Late game kind of got sick. Probably should have fought a Banshee skill earlier, I'm guessing, because I just kept targeted with this full fuck cooldown and dying instantly.
Yeah, I probably would have gotten a Banshee's Veil. That's definitely something.
Item. I should have probably gotten it after my last whisper if I had to guess.
Yeah, and if you were gonna get Bloodthirster that late, that's just bad. You should have gotten Infinity Edge instead. Because you really need the crit in order to do damage. Playing AD carry without crit is really bad.
I was gonna go IE last item and then decided to go Banshees.
Well, I mean, you just shouldn't have gone double life still. It's like,
Okay.
you don't... I mean, if they catch you, you're dead. So, double life still doesn't do anything for you. I would have gone Banshees and then Infinity Edge. Or, like, honestly, you didn't need Banshees, really. You just needed a flash. You never fucking flashed at the right time. If you had just flashed at the right time, you would have been safe. So honestly, watching you play this champion was less than what I'd hoped for. Like, your mechanics using her dash were, like, pretty bad.
Yeah, I played pretty shit that game in general.
And this champion is, like, really goddamn hard. So it's not like you played bad. It's like you're trying to play a champion that's just, like, above your...
Well, no, the thing is I think like if I actually I've played her like 4 times. I think if I honestly play her enough, I can, because like.
I mean, yeah, but
at diamond / master level, like Marine Micro, which is essentially the exact same commands to move.
Well, I just think that you should play something a little easier for now. But I mean, if you want to do it, then it's all you. But
I just think I can. Like, I think if I do it enough, like if I get to the point to where I practice her enough, I can. Because like I said, I mean, like I had the micro, like, you know, a master
yeah.
StarCraft, so I feel like I can do it. I've got to practice it.
Well, start practicing it a lot more then if you're gonna use this as your AD carry in situations where you have to play AD carry. Because you can't be, when you fill, the way you win the game is you are always just like, you have an impact. And you don't need to carry the game, you don't need to like do insane on your like 4th and 5th roll. You just need to not be a liability. And your mechanics are a little bit of a liability. Alright, so first mistake that you made is that Braum passive is with Jinx is really OP, and right here he has already used his Q and the passive is off you, so you're safe to trade. But you go in for this trade and you walk into melee range right now. And so he doesn't have his Q, so the only way that he can get his passive back on is by auto-attacking, and you literally just walk up to him so he can do it. So he auto-attacks you, and you should have died here. Jinx missed her auto-attack, and then she just cancelled an auto-attack. You should have gotten stunned, and you should have died. And the only reason you didn't is because they messed up, but you just can't walk into melee range against a Braum like that.
It was really uncomfortable in lane too. I don't think I've ever really played with a Targ. No. I don't know. I don't really like it.
Well, I mean, the lane phase of the Tark, this guy was not very good at Tark, but it was definitely a really good pick against their comp since they're full AD, and Tark just kind of gives you a free win against full AD.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I said, I just haven't really played with a Targ.
Mm-hmm.
A little awkward.
I mean, some of this, like I get what you're saying, but you can't let that affect your game to that extent.
I feel like I could have done more if it was like a support that I play with more often. You know what I mean? Like all the other supports I play with quite a bit, like when I'm carrying, but like Tark is like one of those I don't think I play with like maybe once.
Alright, so the story of this lane is kind of you starting to win the trade and then either over pursuing or like mechanically making a mistake and then losing the trade that you were winning and like throwing away the little lead that you had. So you just saw it a second ago with you walking into tower after getting a bunch of auto attacks off for free. You walk into tower and you take the Braum Q, and neither of those would have happened if you just turned around instead of going for the last auto attack. The other thing here is that, like, you should have so much more pressure on her than you do. You shouldn't have to play, like, this far back.
Like I said, I played that passive because I don't really know what this Tarek's going to be doing. Like, I don't know, he just kept randomly walking up, and I was like, well, I'm kind of, like, there. Like, he never said once, if he would have at least, like, pinged something, like, when I knew he was going to go throw a stun in, I could have harassed a lot more, but he was, like...
Well, you have to assume that he's going to throw a stun in if you go in for a trade and Braum comes on you. I mean, that's just, like... You can't think that he's actually just dumb. You have to trust him a little bit. And I understand what you're saying about, like, not having played with a support before, but it can't, like you can't, it can't affect you that much. You just can't. It shouldn't affect you that much. Okay, so right here is some mechanical errors. Just, like, not dashing in the right direction sometimes. It's just, like, you definitely need to practice this champion. And practice the mechanics of it. And I would just say to spam games and play it all the time. And don't worry about adding more champions mid or top. I think that anti-top would be fine for you, since you can do it mid and you're doing well with it. It's not that different top. Maybe build a little tankier top, but that's really the only difference.
Like Rod or Stick or something.
I actually played against someone who built a Hextech Revolver, and that was pretty strong.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're playing with a double AP comp, even AP mid and your anti-top, Will of the Ancients is really, really good.
Yeah, I've been building that a lot more recently. On my Annie, at least.
But, back to this game. So... I really want to, like, talk about, like, why does playing with a support you haven't played with much throw you off that much?
I mean, it's just the Tarek thing. Like, I don't know, like I just don't know, like... Big thing for me was, like, Tarek, I know he has this stun, that's pretty much it. Like, it's just, like, with the Leona, like, I can kind of, like, gauge when she's gonna go in. Like, I don't know, I just haven't played with him. I don't really, like, there, I just didn't expect him to walk right up in there. Like, he doesn't say anything.
I mean, that was just dumb of him. But
if he would have said something, I would have followed up with it. Like, he didn't ping at all. Like, he literally didn't say a single thing all the way.
You've definitely played with Leonas that that don't ping, and they just go in. It's
yeah, I think
definitely
it's just because I've played with them a shit ton, so I kind of, like, expect it. Like, I just see them, like, priming their shit.
Well, I mean, you can see this Tarek walk forward. I just don't understand how... Like, I feel like mentally you're making it a much bigger deal than it is.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just a mental thing. I don't know. And I would all...
Like, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but only to an extent. Because if you're... like, let's go back to when I said you could go in and you said, like, you didn't know if Tarek would stun them. If you go in there and you're playing with any support, they'll walk forward and help you. It doesn't matter that he's playing Tarek.
I just don't have that trust at all. Like, I used to, and it just doesn't work.
Well, you have to have some level of trust in bot lane. And I mean, it's not like you're trusting him to, like, make a crazy play. You're trusting him to walk forward and hit Q.
That's a lot of trust at this league.
No, it's not. It's really not. I understand, like... You have to trust him enough that you're going to play to your potential. And trusting him to hit his stun when you go in for a trade, like, he's doing it. He's done it every time. So, right there, another mechanical mistake. You got stunned because you didn't passive. I lag out really hard right here. Rest in peace, spectator thing. So are you trying to use that attack move on Kalista?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know.
Do you find that it works well on her?
The attack move? Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay. Because when I've played her,
I think it makes it easier.
Okay.
It's basically exactly how you micro marine StarCraft is with the attack move.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Fair enough. I mean, do whatever you find comfortable. I was just wondering, because when I play Kalista, I don't like attack move at all.
I guess it's just because it's more familiar to me, like, because I played a shit ton of StarCraft, like, thousands of hours of StarCraft, so...
Makes sense. So have you noticed how what your mana has been at during this lane phase?
Pretty low, like, the entire time.
So you had 150 gold right there, and you didn't buy any mana potions. And you're, like, continuously running So you definitely want to pick up mana potions here. You just have to kind of notice that trend, like, and you should have like.
I just felt like every time I was about Boom, I was typically back.
I would say that there was quite a few times when you could have kept applying pressure, and you just you couldn't because you're out of mana. Okay. So something that you really should start doing on Kalista is just making sure that you're using your W on cooldown in the river.
Okay.
Because there's no reason not to have it up. That was a really good play by him. I honestly think this guy is like pretty good for a bronze player. Definitely not someone that made me cringe.
It wasn't like the worst support I've ever had. It's just like, I guess mentally, I was just uncomfortable because it's something I don't really ever play with.
Yeah. Okay, so right here, you should be auto-attacking. You should be passive auto-attacking. You don't hit him once, though. And then you flash late. Okay, so this is something that you did all game long. And remember what we talked about? I wanted you to go back to flashing whenever there was danger instead of holding it. Like, all game long, you flash after you get hit. You never flash preemptively. And it's going to kill you later in the game.
He just flashed there, didn't he?
Yeah.
That you were lagging?
No, he flashed, and you should have flashed the second he flashed. Just instantly should have flashed. And right here, I'm pretty sure you could have killed her. Like, did you see that well enough? Do you want me to go back?
No, I saw what you were talking about. When Targ was running down and we were dueling kind of up that a little
Yeah.
bit.
And I think you could have killed her again there, if you just walked at her. You would at least have made her just, like, book it away. Honestly, okay, like, I was a little disappointed this game, and I probably sound a little disappointed because I've been really impressed with your mid lane, and I feel like you're playing it at, like, a gold level. And this game, it was like, you're not playing awful, right? Like, I don't want to give that message to you, like, you're playing pretty well. And I mean, you kind of do carry this game, so you obviously are playing pretty well. But, like, compared to your other champions, this is the one that needs the most work right now. You held your E a little too long there. You had the kill secured already.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You auto-attacked like 3 extra times.
I'm still trying to get used to like the whole game. Like I said, I've only played her like maybe 4 games. So
well, the worst thing you can do with that E is over damage. Even if you had used it there and he had lived with like 1 more auto attack, you would have gotten the auto attack and you would have died.
I guess like my thing is like I want the reset on it.
Well,
like if I was to go back in on Jinx, I want to know I have it, kind of thing.
I mean, yeah, but in that situation, you had no stacks on her. Like, the only way that it's going to work out is if you somehow go full stack on her. And if your support dies, she's going to just passive away, so you're not going to be able to get her anyway. If you had used it there, you probably would have saved your support's life. I mean, you're not going to get the kill, but you can't reasonably think that you're going to get the kill there. Again, here you don't buy any mana potions for the second
time. I didn't all game, I don't think.
And I checked your gold again. You had another 100 gold. And your CS is pretty suboptimal again.
It was terrible that game.
So
especially when I'm playing Lucian, like 85, 90.
Well, and with Lucian it's a lot easier. Like what I was saying about this champion, and like the reason I think that other ones are better right now, is because there's just like so much stuff that's really fucking hard to do on her. Like, almost every ability that this champion has is difficult to use optimally. And so, when this champion is put together in a really, like, by a really good player, and used, like, really, really well, she's really, really broken. But, to use her well, even for, like, dude, I can't play this champion very well at all. And my mechanics are really, really, really good, but this champion is just too much. And honestly, something like I think Corki is actually just a better champion right now in general. Even if you're a master at both, I still think Corki's better. You didn't use your blade in this trade. You didn't use it at all in the fight.
You?
Your Blade of the Drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah. See that now. I remember not using it at one point in the fight, and I was like, why didn't I do that?
And then right here, you should have just killed her. The tower was that low, yeah, but like you should have just turned on her instantly. It's all like the mistakes that you're making this game are all just kind of like small mechanical errors. Like in terms of what you're doing on the map, in general, there are not very many mistakes this game. Your lane phase, in terms of like where you're pushing and how safe you're playing, was pretty decent for the jungler that you're against. But like almost every mistake this game is mechanical. I'd say like 95% of the mistakes are mechanical. Okay. Let's see. I think I wanted to point something out coming up in just a second here, so we'll watch you farm for a bit.
Now, this is where I end up not backing, so I could get run-ins, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so you go help them. And this is just another small mechanical mistake here. You could have saved your Vi, or you could have saved your Zed, was the one that I thought you should have helped. If you heal him right here, he lives.
I believe I do something.
Well, you dash forward at him, which is really bad. And then you eat that Q. And then you flash after he's dead.
Yeah.
And then you die. And you waste heal. And then you walk. Oh my! If you just walked down, you were safe. If you literally just had to walk down.
Yeah.
If you walk away from MF when she's ulting, you'll die.
Just don't remember that ult being that long. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah, that ult lasts for like 6 seconds, dude. It's insane. And the way that you kill people with it is you force them to walk all the way through it the whole time. But she didn't force you, you just did. Okay, but it wasn't that awful. You got rune-ins off of it, so you're really, really, really strong now. This is like your strongest point in the game. Until you get to like 6 items. So, your kiting in this game needs to be a lot better. That's what like your champion's best. That's your champion's biggest strength.
Well, and then, like when I was, I feel like when I was like doing like a 1v1, like it was decent. And like as soon as it came to team fights, I just put up.
Yeah, you had a couple moments of brilliance for sure. With some like really nice kiting. There's one play in particular, top lane, that I'm thinking of that was really solid. But you like not using the blade when Yasuo came on you is like kind of a repeated trend this game. You're kind of just not using your skills until you're like already dead. Like the trick to kiting, as Kalista especially, is to never get hit by things, and the way you do that is you're just burning everything you have preemptively. So you flash preemptively, you heal preemptively, you Blade of the Rune King preemptively, you use it all before you're going to get hit. So you have to have really precise measurements, I guess I would call it, of how things are going to go. You could have killed him there if you had used your passive to move the other direction. If you had moved down instead of into him, it's the same thing. It's the only way he's going to trigger a stun on you is if you walk into him there. If you had just walked down into the right, you would have either killed him or he would have had to back off and got nothing. So, I think what I'm going to want you to do is run that CS drill. I think you were doing it with Connor.
Yeah.
The 100 CS in 10 minutes or whatever. I want you to only do it with Kalista, and I want you to, while you're doing that, focus on not missing your passive a single time.
Okay.
And I also would like maybe at some point try to take like full attack speed masteries and runes or something, and see if you can how high you can get your attack speed, just to see if you can practice using your passive with a lot of attack speed as well. You might need to just play like a decent length custom game now in order to get enough attack speed to really practice it.
Yeah, I think it's like 2.17. I think that's what it gets up to, right?
I didn't check. That's the worst MF build of all time. That's so troll. Did you see that?
Wait, what? What was I looking at?
That MF built,
her build is fucking retarded. I saw her build.
Yeah.
She had the Zephyr, like, second
Yeah, she
item
built
or something,
Zephyr
didn't
and... She built Zephyr first item. Zephyr Merc Dreads.
I think when I looked, she had, like, Bloodthirster and Zephyr, so I figured she was Bloodthirster first.
Okay. Skip ahead a little bit. So this is pretty decent use of your passive here. That was all pretty good. You probably shouldn't actually be using your jump when you're dueling someone there. You probably can, like, it's probably easier just to stand still and just kill them.
That's why, like, MF, like, I end up getting close and, like,
Well, she has no skill shots, so there's nothing you can dodge. So you have these two wards in your inventory forever, by the way.
yeah, part of it was because I was holding, so I was doing something like this. And it was like, every time I, like, went to go play someone, I just kind of, like, knew where they were, and I was more using them if I had to push kind of thing.
This is really good kiting right here.
My
This is
ass.
what I was talking about. This was really, really, really good. You didn't miss a passive the entire time.
I mean, like, I think I just really have to practice it. Like, I mean, like I said, like, I used to be able, like, granted it's been, like, 2 years since I played StarCraft, but I used to have the ability to be able to do it. Whenever Heart of the Storm came out is when I stopped playing.
I think you can do it. I would honestly say that you probably... You can play this champion in ranked, but I really think that you should practice
Every
a lot
game
more.
I played her in ranked, like, I've pretty much carried the game, whether we won or lost. Like, I was pretty much the team, so... I don't know.
Well, in that case, just keep playing it if you're having a good streak on it.
I haven't won every game with her, but I've played
Well,
myself.
I mean, yeah,
I've been,
but you're not going to win every game on any champion.
like, one game... what was that? That was a normal one. I went 19-7-4 and lost that game on one of them. I don't remember how I did.
You probably built double lifesteal.
Did on all of my games 15, 12, and 12.
Tanked way too much of that tower. You do that a lot.
I've noticed.
Those the inhibitor towers, you're just like constantly tanking them.
And, yeah, like pretty much every game, I've had like 15 plus kills. Kalista. Oh, that wasn't
Boom. Again, no preemptive
Yeah,
flash. Flash the Braum ult, you don't die. Flash after and you just wasted your flash.
Yeah, I died to that like 3 or 4 times, I think, from now till the end of the game.
Yep, basically every single time you die from here on out is because you aren't using your shit preemptively.
I think if I had a Banshees here, I think I would have lived at least a couple of them. It was just like knock up in the Yasuo ult.
Yep. Honestly, I don't know if I would have gotten Banshees right then because your flash is on a long cooldown already, so by the time you finish your Banshees you probably have flash up, which means you're safe. Anyway, I think the Infinity Edge is the right call. But only
I built it for dueling. Like I don't know. Like I just like.
Infinity Edge is way better for dueling.
Oh, really?
Infinity Edge is, dude. You have 0% crit chance right now. So not only is Infinity Edge giving you increased crit damage, it gives you crit chance, which is like where all of your damage is from as an AD carry. Walking around with 0% crit chance is awful. It only works with this build when you're like actually just this fed. Honestly, I might not have even gotten a Last Whisper. I might have just gone straight Infinity Edge.
Okay. Yeah, normally just go right into Last Whisper third item. Not to mention, I think 3 people on their team were building armor.
When you're this far ahead, though,
Matter?
it doesn't matter that much now. And you have armor shred in your team. Your Zed built a Black Cleaver, and your Taric has armor shred. You should have healed her right here. You would have saved her again. You didn't use your blade again. I don't think you used your blade at all this game, actually.
Might not have. I don't know.
No, I don't think you used it once the entire game.
It's weird. Like I find like when I'm playing like melee assassins with like actives, I use them all the time. Just I don't know. When I'm AD carry, like I just don't unless it's like Yomu's. I don't know why.
Well, it would have helped you a lot this game, that's for sure. Your Baron call was really good, by the way.
Is it?
It was fantastic.
Okay.
This is really dumb. This is more of walking into melee range against Braum and you're face checking at the same time.
Yeah, I think I actually said out loud, I'm a retard. I walked it into that. I was baited. Something along those lines.
The throws.
Kind of. Yeah, I pretty much just saw Jinx from bot and was like, can we do this? More or less.
Well, it's a good call because you're going to secure it 100%
That
since
too,
you're Kalista.
Yeah, which is why I literally do nothing but focus that the entire time.
And you would have taken a lot faster if they had stayed on it. I don't know why your team is not helping you.
I literally pretty much had 0 help. It felt like dead. Literally.
You should have started kiting into the pit right here. As soon as Volibear comes around the side, you should have already been back here.
Yeah.
And then you should have flashed. And you should have healed, and you don't do anything. You just die. It's just the preemptive play is not there for you. And here's another example.
Yep.
Flash now. And you're done. Alright. That's about everything. So I want you to do those drills, and we'll go over this a little more. I want you to practice this a lot. Because not just like not the AD carry thing I'm talking about, but the preemptive skill usage. I really want you to learn that. So we'll work on that right now.